Okay, let me just...
Wow. It looks like you're collectively organized recently.
Yeah. Alright folks, welcome back to the MatthewV21688 studios. So you can see I'm joined by 3 different Skype guests. One I haven't had in a pretty long while. And 2 people I'm having for the first time. The one that is the one that I haven't had a chance to speak to lately is the one in the middle. That's Craig S. 1996 Television, otherwise known as Craig Simmons.
Hello, everyone.
And I apologize for having these 2 for the first time under these circumstances, but it's Lee Deschennes, and you also know her as Mario Reacts Rants. That's Sam Aquino. Funny, I have a friend with that same last name.
Hi, everybody.
Well, as some of you have heard, we actually have lost a member in the DGSN because of controversial actions. And some people I have seen some posts that have said that some were going to make a red card video, which is exactly what this is, red card. But I want to try to do this in like a professional manner. I'm trying not to do them as much myself unless it actually really does. Unless the circumstances are in certain situations. I know the last person I carded was, believe it was John Ambien over constant troubles. But I had a few things to say, and I'm sure some of you guys probably saw that video.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, in that case, one of the things that came out was that we also happened to... One of the things that was... that kind of made it a little funny to watch was the fact that Kyle said that, I bet you he's the guy who likes to have sex with Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh gosh, I practically cracked up the first time he said it. And that was to Juice Drayton. One of the last people I carded.
I remember that.
I haven't watched Dora the Explorer since I quit the public school industry.
I love Nickelodeon and all, but I don't like Dora the Explorer. Never have.
I prefer SpongeBob.
I don't prefer anybody from Nickelodeon. Anyway, the person who I'm talking about who's actually gotten a red card on my channel is known as BJMTVCanada, otherwise known as Ben Mason. So, unfortunately, this is what happened. What happened was, on the DGSN, he had left a malicious link to Kyle Hershen, or XKMHX, because I guess supposedly he was thinking about a new show to host, but now he's not going to be a part of us anymore. And the first time that happened was what actually took place this past Wednesday, I believe it was. And that was what happened on Wheel of Fortune when one of our other friends, Eugene Yu, made it on the show. And unfortunately, Ben Mason had some pretty nasty things to say. So that's why we've officially kicked him out.
Yeah. So, let me get this straight. Based on my proper understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, please do. Are you saying that that BJM is actually not happy with Eugene's appearance, or was what is said just nothing but a fabricated example of what could have been on TMZ?
Basically, no, it's not a lie, but basically what he said was pretty questionable, and we got word of this from Corey Lawrence, one of our admins in the Discord Game Show Network. And when he got word, he gave Mason a week to plead his case, but Unfortunately, Mason did not hit rock bottom with that last last incident, and basically this kind of reflects on some incidents that have taken place where Mason was the common denominator, where he says he's a nice guy, but somehow I don't really think he's proving it. So basically, in a nutshell, the one thing he said about Eugene Yu's Wheel of Fortune episode was, is it me or these contestants go over the top? Now some of you may be wondering, what the heck? That's why? Well, let me clear this up. It was kind of questionable to us, especially since you only get one shot on that show. One and done, and I actually kind of have personal experience, even though I've never been on Wheel of Fortune myself. I actually got to be a guest for one of my local news stations for a broadcast. I got to see it in person because one of the anchors there is taking another job in San Francisco, and I actually got to meet him before he left. And one of my journalism classmates actually said to me that he was surprised I had the gall to ask if visitors come by. But I digress. My own defense, I had seen some people who had actually got to be guests on some of the broadcasts myself, and I was thinking, oh wow, it'd be nice if I could. So I worked up the gall to ask if people come by, and I brought it up a little bit sometime last year, but after hearing that one of the anchors, the evening news anchors, is leaving, actually left at the end of March, I decided to try again, and hey, things worked out.
Mm-hmm.
You actually can see that on my Facebook, by the way.
And I actually saw that, and I was pretty happy with your local TV appearance.
I have not seen Eugene Yu's episode of Wheel of Fortune because, in all honesty, I don't really watch that many game shows anymore, except for Jeopardy, which kind of gets better over time.
Yes, it does. I'm kind of the same way with Wheel, even though I've been watching Jeopardy quite a bit.
And even though, based on my current understanding, that Eugene has not won the game, at least I want to say, at least he tried. But that doesn't give his friends any right to actually point any fingers to any of his competitors. Because if you point the finger to anybody who's actually won against one of her good friends, then you're forcing others to actually feel bad about themselves. And you can't accuse somebody for actually
showing too much enthusiasm?
That's right. So we should be happy for what he's done. At least he won the approximate 14 grand. So I think that makes him still count as a winner. So nobody goes home a loser. I think that's what Otter told me, is that nobody goes home a loser. But hey, the best part about his appearance is the ever recurring.
Oh yeah.
Whoops! I think I missed the other clip. Let me play it again. It's out.
I know, I was chuckling at that myself.
That's the one thing that kind of locked on me. I remember that.
Alright. Now,
I think that'll definitely stick in me for quite a while.
Yeah. Now to the other elephant in the room. Something that has to do with a V word that we should bring up.
V word? Haven't heard about that.
I was talking about virus.
Oh yes, that. Well, what happened was Ben Mason had sent Kyle Hershen a malicious virus link, and unfortunately Kyle's computer became inoperable. But the good news is, he is getting that thing squared away. He should be back by tomorrow.
So, what kind of a link gave him the virus? Like, did Ben actually double check the link before including that in the post?
I don't believe he did, but some of us thought that it was either a malicious Skype link or anything, but it was not. It didn't have to do with Skype. And supposedly, I also happened to. Well, let me try try to find that. Well, actually, there's some photos in the DGSN page. I'll probably show that.
Oh, so does this mean that I could actually... hold on a second. I'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
So not cool, Ben, what he did to Kyle.
Very not. So this is basically it. And Kyle happened to show the stuff that he shared. It was an FL link.
It was a what link?
It says, Kyle, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to send you the FL link. The truth is, I'm trying to get someone to make me a theme song and music package for a game show I might want to host on the DGSN. You can use Windows Defender to clear it up, I think. Truth is, I think the DGSN will be better off without me. I'm sorry.
Like, did he actually know that it had the virus when preparing that link?
I don't really know exactly, but my guess would be that he might have thought the link was safe, but apparently it was not. And Kyle, unfortunately, Kyle's computer it happened to bypass Kyle's antivirus and it gave him malware.
Wow. So that is actually a little bit sick. I believe in order to uninstall the software and consult with the computer to get that malware out of here would be a gigantic loss of money. So now, thanks to that suspicious link, between $100 to $200 would have to be spent on getting that virus out of here or exchanging computers.
What's wrong with them?
Ben.
It is very disturbing, and also, if some of you guys have seen, in case some of you guys did not know, for those of you who aren't even in the DGSN, this is actually a statement released by Kyle concerning him, and I'll go ahead and say it to you guys. He says, over the last few days on the DGSN, there have been complaints about member Ben Mason and his opinions about Eugene Yu. That kind of rudeness and ignorance will not be tolerated anymore. Ben has had many other incidents regarding poor sportsmanship, trash talking, and quote-unquote cocky attitudes towards other people over the last 5 or 6 years. He was originally banned in 2013 because of his behavior. We at the DGSN will not tolerate it anymore. As of May 14th, 2016, Ben Mason will no longer be a member of the DGSN. He has been given way too many opportunities to improve himself and has failed to do so. When Ben is ejected from the group, all of his winnings will be forfeited and void. He will be banned from the Discord server and will no longer associate our name on his content. Failure to comply will result in legal action, and that's released by Kyle.
So what do you mean by failure to comply or something with legal action? Like, is there something about legal action that is not brought up? I didn't even know that you can actually use lawyers in disappointing others in the Skype group.
That, I think you probably might have to ask Kyle about that. I don't deal with that kind of stuff, but really that's my thing. So that's not really my thing, but I just stay away from that kind of lawyer stuff and just kind of like just keep it as is and just hope that it doesn't happen again. But if it does, then chances of me associating with that person will go down considerably. Now, initially, what I had done was I had suspended Ben for 15 episodes on all of my shows that I host, which is Wheel, Pyramid, and Press Your Luck. And I know I've yet to get to a Press Your Luck game because yesterday I had duties to take care of that came up at the last minute. But I digress. Back to the point. So anyway, my suspension on Ben Mason has gone from 15 episodes to permanent.
Wow.
Especially since
taking
he
action.
is now out.
Now, sorry for interrupting, and I promise not to do it again, but the point I want to bring up, or the question I want to ask, is the 15 games, like, per game show, or 15 episodes overall in any of the shows?
Well, that's 15 in all shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I understand. Sorry for interrupting. Please proceed.
Nah, no worries
It's okay,
about it.
it's fine.
Anyway, it's been what, like 3 years since the first incident with Ben Mason happened? Like, I mean, giving someone virus malware, that's almost as bad as cheating.
That's not even Canadian.
No, it's not.
And to make matters worse is that he lives, just like moi here, we both live on Canadian soil. And for the fact that he's Canadian just doesn't make him like a polite one, because as a Canadian, they tend to be very polite and nice.
And we
but I don't see any kind of character in Ben.
Unfortunately, no. He's kind of been pretty cocky about this and that. And unfortunately, he has kind of been... It's been getting him in trouble lately, and I was hoping that what happened with Eugene Yu's episode was rock bottom, but like I said, it apparently was not.
Well, at least he still went home with a lot of money, approximately 14 grand.
I was just a little bummed over the fact that he didn't win. But
yeah,
do any of you guys, anything else you guys have to say about this?
It looks like we got another member of the Skype family wanting to join us.
I have my boyfriend right here, so it's not too late now.
Yeah, a little late. I got part of the recordings and happened without me, so.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I wish I would have been added sooner, so that way my paranoia would have kicked in, because there are times I do get paranoid and stuff.
It's okay though. Well,
I accept you all if you can.
Yeah, that's okay. And seeing that you came late, we can now allow you to express your thoughts.
yeah. Got anything to say to Ben?
Alright, I should have been before the call, before the meeting started. Hacking someone, or even going as far as planting a virus on someone else's computer. Yeah, I can't think of a single thing that can possibly even so much as justify doing that. Other than trying to silence someone's point of view, I can't understand why anyone would even go that far in the first place. It's fucked up beyond all recognition, and it's just... all I have to say is just fuck you for even doing so.
Yeah.
And now I, myself, have taken action myself. I've taken Ben off of my Facebook friends lists. But basically, my troubles with him actually goes back to 2011. And I think the first time was when he criticized Michael Batten over singing the Happy Birthday song, which I thought was by far stupid. And
yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
So how can somebody criticizing a poor performance of a public domain song still be considered rude? It's like if somebody's singing a very low-key or very unprofessional or very obviously annoying performance of Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Are you sure that being able to criticize a singer for not singing it well or singing it horribly would actually make you mean?
I think from what I heard, it was basically over the fact that he actually sang it. But I don't know, that was like 5 years ago, so I barely remember much details on that. But all I do know is that's about when it started.
Well, I always thought that the reason being why Ben was so against Mikey singing Happy Birthday is that before I would get a proper understanding, my first expectation is that the reason why he was upset about the fact is that he would actually complain that the song is copyrighted, which is not anymore, because the court ruling actually made the song public domain now. But if the reason is completely different, if I would like to know the reason why Ben actually slammed Michael for singing Happy Birthday, I'd be happy to know.
I find it funny that song was copyrighted in the first place.
I actually had no idea about it myself until I found out on the news that it was actually copyrighted. But I digress now.
Where's the fair use?
Exactly. Hashtag where's the fair use. I've seen it on YouTube.
I've been seeing that all over the place too.
But anyway,
So
I decided to come out.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
all right.
Yes.
All right, going back to the incident itself about singing the song, what's the actual reason why Ben was unhappy with Michael's involvement in singing that song?
I have a hypothesis about that, and I'm gonna try to keep it short. My thinking is he has a bunch of like misery just built up and bottled up inside of him, and that he feels he has to externalize that by bringing as many people down as possible to make him feel better about himself.
So you're saying that Ben, in his mind, would better off if there was no singing to his ears?
And no, what I'm basically saying is, if he makes other people feel bad, in his mind, it'll make him feel better. That's what I'm saying.
I think you're right. I think what Ben was actually trying to do is acting bossy. Being bossy doesn't make you a smarter person, and sometimes being bossy doesn't make the victim feel comfortable either. Being bossy doesn't make you the kind of person who would rather interlock. By being bossy, you're being dictated. You're dictating another person's life to serve as your own. If you want the life your way, just keep your thoughts to yourself and actually follow their recommendation. Not keep their ways of life.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really comfortable with people who are that bossy. Just like that one person who was this bossy by the name of who I've been with school with, but I already recorded her. Well, not exactly. But anyway, back to Ben Mason.
Yeah,
So,
she not done a video on her before.
yeah, just not worth not relevant to this, but
Well, it is kind of relevant because yes, he brought up bossiness.
yeah, I can't stand when people are that bossy.
And being bossy is another milder form of bullying. And nobody wants to be one, or at least wants to be bossed by a bully.
Well, bossiness isn't necessarily bullying, but it can be bullying. It is not positive change.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that while being bossy doesn't make you a complete bully, it can bring a bullying-like feeling to the circumstance? Because
it can be depending on the situation.
I see. So
I say it's an employer telling you what to do and being bossy that way.
right. In fact, if I were to be okay with being boss, I would just take requests from my boss at my workplace.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason why I'm letting that go. It's because I'm working for a corporation, so I have to do what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so, going back to the subject of this video.
Okay, so back to the topic in hand. Now, action has been taken, like I said earlier, action has been taken, and Mason is out of the group, but I came out with this video because I had a few things to say for myself, and there have been incidents in the group where Ben has been caught cheating or Googling answers, and that actually prompted Rodney to give him a red card back in 2013, and then he was let back in the group for some strange reason. I had him on some games. He was being not so much a bad person, but he was being a pretty competitive player. But the one thing that was really standing out at us was that he was not wishing others good game if he lost.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses,
the situation in particular the situation in particular is very similar to a couple other YouTubers who made those offenses too. But for safety and privacy reasons, those names cannot be given out. But what I'm trying to say is that this is not the first time such an incident happened.
So, okay, this isn't the first time someone has been a force for and just like shouting his lungs out because they lose.
No, we've had more than that. Much more than that.
Wow. So you're saying we had more people who committed the same crime than people wanting to vote for Donald Trump?
Really?
huh?
I was just joking.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I find it funny how people will tie that to being a supporter of Donald Trump.
Obligatory joke about him.
Yeah.
It's an obligation. So everything I did, so I had to do it too.
It's fine.
Actually,
Okay,
let me do
go
it
ahead.
too. Anyone who defends skiers is a supporter of Donald Trump.
But we're not giving Donald Trump a red card yet because he's not yet elected.
That's true.
So we'll save that little piece of bacon for when Halloween is over.
Oh, that's rich.
Yeah. That's good.
And I will say also that Rondane Holler also came out with some pretty nasty words himself, but I actually had a heart and cleared Rondane because he said he had a rough week, and we've all been there, of course, with rough weeks, and sometimes we say things we shouldn't have. I know I've had my fair share of them, so I decided just to let Rondane off, but Ben, unfortunately, has had prior incidents where he doesn't seem to atone for what he did. So, unfortunately, we have to draw the line and say that enough's enough. And in fact, the last time was actually looks like John Flynn has joined us. The last one where I was
Hi, John.
mentioning...
Here's Johnny!
I knew that was coming.
And the last one where I was mentioning of where Ben Mason actually left the call because he lost the game and lost his win streak. When we confronted him about it, he had said that he wished he had known about this other person and his win streak would have been alive. So basically, what it's come to me to think is that I think that Mr. Mason takes his win streaks far beyond seriously.
Wasn't that the same dude who tried to say in a comment that I had bisexual sex with some other dude and Britney Spears?
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear about
the
that.
modern Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off at that comment.
Yeah. So quote,
Yeah, I find it funny.
Hollywood created a superstar, and fame was the price she paid. And what was the price you may ask? Countless jokes and ridicule, and the fact that she and pressure to start smoking and use all the tune I want.
Yeah, but seriously, Ben, how dare you?
Yeah.
And we don't mean pleasure Tim Zuna style. We actually mean to say that.
Yes,
It's a good
we
thing I don't
do.
subscribe to him.
Thank God
Yeah,
that,
I blocked him, Twitter, YouTube. Yeah.
I blocked him on
thankfully,
Facebook myself, and I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore now.
Just no, because when I first joined DGSN, when it was originally called DGSN, that I was under the influence that he wasn't a good type of influence, like his arrogance, his like. Is there another synonym for that? Like, said over eagerness to win on on Tic-Tac-Toe or something like that. But I've been fed up with him for a couple of months, or even beyond that, and I think it's time to part ways with him. At least on my side.
Definitely. Yeah. I've never even so much as touched his channel.
And as you see, ladies and gentlemen, the decision we're now going to provide is unanimous, meaning all agreeable.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, the reason why I wanted to participate in this video is because I received some helpful advice from Aubrey about why I shouldn't be actually be on the side either. Because whenever I watch his material, he tends to be very loud and very annoying a lot of times.
Well, which is annoying to other participants who want to have the same share. That I was under the impression, especially early on, that I think he wants to get the higher ground in terms of the playing field. But it doesn't happen in life. It doesn't happen, Ben. It doesn't happen so that everything goes your way. That there's gonna be times where you have to deal with it. You gotta deal with it, Ben. If you lose, deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with losing.
Yeah, I can speak from experience too. I've had some pretty rotten luck during some of my LPs.
Right.
Yeah, and even me, I've only been on the recent season of Tic-Tac-Toe. I've been only on like a 2-game winning streak, and there's nothing wrong with just being on a 2-game winning streak.
That's the same luck with me. I mean, I haven't had a chance to play Rodney's Tic-Tac-Toe lately because I've been busy with school, and also work. And fortunately, I just got out of school for the summer, and
Rats. Just saying.
and now I think I might be able to participate in more stuff. So, and I have just about the same luck as John Flynn on Tic-Tac-Toe, but I don't really care. I don't really care too much about it. I just try and play to my ability.
Yeah, just be the best you can be. That's really the best thing you can do.
Right. So if you lose in the game show, just don't go ballistic over your loss or something. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
And and to add to that, you really got to stop thinking that you should have known about this person, otherwise your win streak would still be alive. Because if that's the kind of attitude that just makes us feel, okay? That's the kind of attitude that just doesn't give a good impression about you. But you see, we at the DGSN, please don't get, and for those of you who want to join us, please don't get this wrong idea. Because we actually listen to people. We don't try to publicly degrade them unless absolutely necessary. But I think this is semi-necessary because of all the incidents that Mr. Mason has caused or has been in the common denominator of. And I'm not talking about just these past two. I'm actually talking about all of his incidents, period. I mean, even before this group was formed. Because we just want to engage other people who share interests as us. But if you do something wrong, then you have to answer to it. Otherwise, we won't take it very kindly. That's the thing. We want to have fun just as much as the next person. But if something goes wrong and you refuse to answer to it, then your credibility is going to be considerably shot. And we're not kidding.
Nope.
No joke.
Any of you guys have a last thing to say?
What? 3 years since you see it on the game, and I've been on YouTube since August 2001. I've been doing YouTube videos since I was 15 years old. And I know that.
Yeah, I've been around YouTube since roughly 2006. Like, I've been doing videos, like, on, like, I've had another channel I used to do videos on that's it's gone now. And I've seen some pretty crazy shit happen on YouTube throughout the years. But the whole stunt here with Mr. Mason was just to the extreme and uncalled for.
Yeah.
And so I speak on behalf of this court when I say Mr. Mason deserves a guilty verdict.
It's unanimous.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And the guilty verdict is no more welcoming to our group. Those of you who want to come back and really, for those of you, we don't enjoy doing this as much. We hate doing this just as much as the next person. But if you're not going to make any changes, sometimes it's necessary. And as much as we want to keep this group together, if you're having trouble, just come talk to one of the admins. We'll try and sort things out. And if you want to join us and play our games, you can, of course. But as long as you have a good head on your shoulders, then you're okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Just don't act like a toxic parasite to suck the fun out of it.
Yeah, Ben. Just don't be this arrogant.
Well put.
Yes, and I hope you're listening.
Yeah. Because that is not cool, what you did to Kyle. And for all these years, we've pretty much had enough with you.
And also, to my end, and I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank Matthew for inviting me to this call-in to let me come to this video. And it's because I've been pretty good friends with Aubrey. But going to the point of this video, Ben, even though I understand you reside on Canadian soil, that the acts that you did both a couple days ago and in the past were unforgivable. And there's no chance in heck you'll be able to get friends.
Absolutely.
And a quote from one of the videos that is long gone: "You should be ashamed of yourself."
Yeah.
And should you express no interest in having a change of heart, providing this punishment is the best we could do. So sadly, it is my duty to confirm to you, BJMTV, that you're getting the X.
Oh no! Oh no!
And really, if you want to have a little interest in actually improving your image, because that's what I do all the time, my suggestion would be to actually go out and associate with people, like I do myself with my local news station.
I remember you in past ran videos / red cards. You say that. I remember that was when you first started them.
Yes, that's right. But I don't know if I've mentioned some of the things I've done, and I'm not saying that Ben should do this too, but this is what I've done. You know, because some of you guys know that I'm a total news fan, basically of one of my local news stations, and I've actually been associating with some of the anchors and reporters, and they actually like me, believe it or not. And I've actually kind of said that to my folks because they've had some semi-mixed feelings about it. But the one thing that I think sticks out at me is what I've been doing for some of my favorite anchors. What is that? I've been sending them flowers. Why? Because I want to.
That's
basically
nice.
because
That's
they got
nice,
a birthday coming up, or I just decided to do it for certain occasions like Girls' Day or what have you. Okay. So basically, try to start doing some nice things to people. At least talk to them. It'll make you feel good. Because if you only just stick to us, and all you do is cause trouble, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Basically.
Sorry about that, peeps. People just keep coming in and out of this room, but carry on.
Well, that's what I was. Well, actually, I was just about what I had left to say, and that was that I had been doing these nice things, and actually, the last 2 Christmases, I've actually been sending them Christmas cards. Why? Because I feel like I should. I just like to live by my own rules, saying that if I want to do something nice for someone, I'll do it. I don't care what people say. So really,
just be a nice guy.
yeah.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Mason is the exact opposite of what I'm with. Apparently, the opposite.
Hold on, guys.
Is a news break coming? If it's a news break, I hope Donald Trump suspends his campaign.
For my sake, me too. I think the guy's a freak.
He'll probably do some good, to be honest.
But anyway, before I finish this up, do you guys have one last thing to say?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I forgot to say this. I did have it on my mind, but I forgot. But that incident that occurred earlier this week, you just prompted Kyle to spend a couple $100 out of his own pocket just so he could get the problem fixed. And unfortunately, because you gave life to the circumstances yourself, I'm afraid our relationship will have to come to an end. And should you...
Sorry about that, guys. I got a little interrupted by my sister. Sorry.
It's alright. But anyways, should you express no interest in having a change of heart or just having second thoughts about how you can become a better man in the future, or at least a true Canadian, unfortunately, we're going to have to make your exit permanent and ensure that you don't come back. So unfortunately, because of what you did recently and in the past, I think I'm going to have to confirm that you are dismissed, given the boot, discharged, sacked, fired, blocked, banned, fed to the dogs, and now, at this time, we're going to have to ask you to...
Actually, I have a little bit of actually, I have something to say myself. I kind of forgot to bring up earlier. Is the fact that I've been thoroughly hacked before. Not only a few different sites. There's like BB.com. There's recently on Facebook. I've been hacked on YouTube. But also through some prick, I've also had a virus on my computer, which spammed pretty much everyone on Facebook, and that account me really upset. So I know what that shit's like.
Yeah.
And also, with everything you've done, all I can say to you is that I've got to wait something here since we don't have a lot to load. Because my computer's running slow.
Didn't quite hear. I think maybe Skype might have cut it off.
Hey, Mr. Mason, you have me.
What was that?
Disappointed.
This is said it better.
Okay, so Craig, Sam, John, any last thing you'd like to say?
No, just look. I'm ready to do something on my side, so watch out.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say right now.
Yes, because
Okay. Well, Craig, I assume you have anything to say, or no?
Well, I guess nothing more on my end, except for the fact that Simpsons Road Rage predicted Uber.
Okay, well, I'll get this up as soon as I can. And really, just the last thing for those of you who do want to join our group, really you can, but as long as you have a good head on your shoulders, you know how to act under adversity, and you're really a nice guy overall, you're likely welcome into our group. And if you can follow all our rules, you're okay. As we try not to discourage people from joining our group because we only have 41 members, and I know that card videos like these just don't really do if you want more members. But really, I had to come out with this video because I had a few things to say myself, because I felt like it was necessary to do, and really, if you really are a game show fan yourself and you can handle adversity, and how you handle adversity, you don't get all negative and all this and that, then you're okay.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Oh, Craig, just before I finish this up, did you have something to say to Ben Mason just before we finish up?
Well, I gotta say, I severed all contact with him. He is no longer in my friends list, so I'm pretty much done with Ben Mason from this point on.
So really, we hope that this is rock bottom for Ben Mason, and we can make some changes, and even though the chances of him not coming back to the group are 100%, you just don't know. But for now, we're done. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys again.
And don't forget, folks, just before you click the record button, this is something that I normally do with whenever I participate in Aubrey's videos, and if you watch some of mine, you may notice. And folks, don't forget to keep your feet on the ground and have a zippity-doo-dah day.
Good words.
That's
Good night, everybody.